I'm Katrina, and this is Sew and Tare, and today we are making some blackberry jam. So I have several different kinds of blackberries, some that have names and some that are have seeded themselves, and so they're probably a mixture. So I have Awala berries and triple crowned, black satin. Anyway, I have several other ones that I planted nearby to each other, so I'm never exactly sure which one I'm picking. They do taste different though, so that's nice. Anyway, so I have cooked down some blackberries that I had picked, and I'm going to be putting, all I did is I put like that much in the bottom of a pan. I put water just so it didn't burn when it was starting. And then I cooked it on medium for just a little bit. And then once it's there, I kind of smash it down. And what I'm going to do now is take this flour sack towel and strain out the seeds. So the seeds and the skins. So this will dye your towel. It will become purple. And then when you wash it, and then every time you wash it, it's going to look grosser and grosser. It's going to turn brown. So, unless you use bleach, which I don't use bleach. So, anyway, just expect that for whatever towel you're using, it's going to change color. So, I'll show you what I'm doing. For these berries, I didn't bother taking out all of the little, pieces of flour and stuff like that. So, there's going to be some of that in here because I'm going to strain it out and it'll be fine. So, that is the mash. And it looks super yummy already. But we're going to put it into this towel. And it has cooled, just so that I can squeeze it through. Ooh, we're gonna have a lighting issue. Alright, well, here we go. This will dye your clothes too, so try not to do that. Looks like I got a hair in it. That's okay. It's just for me. Not doing it as a gift. If I do these things as gifts, I definitely go through it and pick out all the stuff. So I was going to add cherries to this, but it turns out we didn't have any more cherries. So it's just going to be blackberries. It would be good with cherries though. So again, this is just kind of squished. And I forgot to bring you guys along for the very first part, but that's okay. So this is just going to be squished, squished. And bundle this up. Actually, I think I'm going to tie it. So I'm taking the opposite corners and tying them together. And I don't remember if I said jam or jelly, but this is going to be jelly because we're leaving these other parts out. Jam has chunks, jelly doesn't. That's the only difference. You still use pectin and all of that. Actually, I should probably do one below and one above this other knot. Alright, so my hands are going to get colorful. If you don't want your hands to get colorful, you can wear gloves, but look at that color. Actually, maybe I will, because I'm going to be doing some other things today. I don't really want my hands to be dyed. I'm actually just going to use bread bags. Here's a trick. They're bread bags instead of gloves. Okay, before I do this, I'm actually going to attach it to... I don't have a jelly, I don't know what they're called. Some people have a, like a stand that you put this on, and I don't. So I'm actually just going to tie this up to going to tie it up to the handle on my cupboard. Works pretty good. And then just make sure that this is below it. There are actual things that people get to hold their jelly, things like this, but I don't have one, and I have a cupboard. Back you guys up so you can see that. I have lots of things on my counter, but that's okay. You can tell that's draining right now, and I'm just using bread bags because I don't really want to get out gloves. So make sure that whatever container you're using, it will fit where the drips are. I'm using a saucepan because I'm going to use that later to make the actual jelly, because you have to heat it back up again. So I'm just going to squeeze this from the top. I'm going to zoom in there. Alright, I think I'll just do one for now. So I'm just squeezing from the top, and all that juice is coming out. They make specific cloths for this too, but a flour sack towel, you know, like a dish towel, one that doesn't get fuzz, works just fine. You could use a filter, like a coffee filter, but this works. I'm making a mess on my counter, but that's okay. Won't dye your counter, you clean that up. Now it's going to take some time to get this squeezed out. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to let it drip. Alright, so I have my bag gloves. What I'm doing now is I'm holding the top and then using my other hand to squeeze downwards. That tends to work pretty well, because otherwise it can escape upwards. Not escape, but you know, the berries can move up. And you see it's starting to look dry at the top. It means you're getting all the moisture to go down, which is good. If you're into natural dyes, I'm sure you could add vinegar or something. I don't know, whatever people add for tie-dye. It might set some of the color for a while. So you can see it goes up. I don't have this hand up here. Well, looks like my bread bag had a leak. that didn't work as well as planned. Alright, but the rest of this I'm just going to let drip dry. We can either rinse off these bags or dispose of them. Either one works. Alright, so this has been squeezed pretty good, and you can see there's I don't know how much juice is in there, but it's a little bit of juice. And I'm just gonna let this drip for a little while. I'm expecting some of the stuff in there to drip down into the bottom over the next, I don't know, half an hour or so. Might be longer than that. But then we can use this juice for whatever we want. We can leave it as juice, we can freeze it as ice cubes, We can make it into syrup, we can make it into jelly, use it in a sauce. So you can do whatever you want from that point. It's been hanging overnight, and just gonna squeeze down, see if any more juice will come out. There's some. Looks like it dripped down pretty good though. Alright, looks like that's all we're getting out of there. Oops. I'm going to untie this from the top. And I'll show you guys what this looks like. Alright, so if we open that up, you'll see nice tie-dye color, right? You see all that mash, and I think I am going to give that to the quail. I think they will enjoy that. Now, when you wash this, if you bleach, go ahead and bleach. I don't do that. But if you wash it, it's going to retain that color for a little bit, but it will turn to brown. So you're probably going to see me use flour sack towels later that are a little brown, and this is why, because berries do this. Alright, so let's see how much we got. How dark that is. Alright, so we got 1.5 cups of juice. So that's going to end up being not very much jam, but that's okay. We can either refrigerate this or freeze this and add more when we get more, or we can just make a small batch, and I might just make a small batch. We'll see. I do need to put it in the refrigerator right now. Alright guys, so I did not process the blackberry jam. This is just coming to a boil. I am just canning the juice because I want to save it, and I don't have time to make all the jam stuff that I want to make. So it's coming to a boil. We're going to pour it in a jar and can it. Alright, well the camera apparently didn't record that, but that is the color left over of the blackberry juice. And there is some blackberry. And that's all we got is one and a little bit. So we're just gonna can it. You're supposed to have a smaller head size than that, but I'm thinking I'm gonna use it fairly quickly. I just don't have time to make jam, and I didn't get any more juice yet from the other berries. Alright, so here's our 2 jars. I put some vinegar on a cloth, and I'm just gonna go around the outside. And there was some on it. Alright, so these guys I am going to actually put in, I'm making peach juice as well for another video, so I'm going to put these in with that. Ooh. And so that's going to be a good use of space. So whether you do, well, there is no time for half pints, so just use the time for pints, which is 5 minutes. And you can do pints and quarts or both 5 minutes. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it encourages you to make your own juice. You don't need any special press or anything. You can just do it on the stove. Berries are easier than you think they are. And also, I hope this encourages you to preserve what you can when you can, even if it's not what you plan to do with it. So
we're going to have a really good video coming up on a use that we use this juice for, so hold out for that one. Like and subscribe and share with someone who loves juice. Have a good one.